Good morning. This is Kasturi Day. Today I'm going to discuss. I'm continuing the chapter of the reproductive system in reproduction in humans according to ICSE syllabus class 8. So today I'm going to start with the female reproductive system. See, the female reproductive system has different organs. So first one is ovaries, main organ, that is the ovaries. Then comes the oviduct, then the uterus and vagina. Okay. So first we come to the ovaries. They are two in number. They are located in the abdominal cavity in the pelvic or the hip region. Okay, this is the hip region. From the picture you can see this is the hip region. Here only the ovaries are located. These are two almond-shaped almond-shaped oval-sized. You can see white cottony-like structures. These are two almond-shaped glands. These on both the sides of the uterus. The middle portion is the uterus. Okay. So these two are present on both the sides of the uterus, and each ovary produce one ovum, one mature ovum or egg after every 4 weeks. Every month you can say the one ovum is produced from this ovaries. Now oviduct is also called the fallopian tube, which are attached to the uterus. Okay, and each oviduct, there are two in number on both the sides of the uterus it has, and they are not connected, actually not connected to the ovaries, but they are opening, their mouth opens towards the ovaries, and the ovum, that is the egg which is released. When it is released by the ovary, these fallopian tubes take this egg inside it and transport it into the ovary. Transport it into the uterus. Okay, pass into the uterus. Next is we come to the uterus. Uterus is a hollow muscular pear-shaped organ. Okay, it lies in the lower abdomen behind and above the urinary bladder. Okay, it's behind and above the urinary bladder. Here what happens in this fallopian tube, or you can say oviduct, the egg gets fertilized. Generally it gets fertilized. Okay, and after getting fertilized, the zygote comes and gets implanted in this uterus. Okay, and here only the zygote develops into a baby. The lower portion of the uterus is a lower narrow part, you can say. Here it is the cervix. It is known as the lower portion, which is narrowing part of the uterus. It is known as the cervix. Okay. Now the cervix is narrow and opens to the outside through a muscular tube known as vagina. Okay. Now the vagina receives the sperms from the male reproductive organ, that is the penis, and it serves as a birth canal also, through which the mature baby is delivered. Okay, now the uterus has 3 layers, you can say. Here it is showing 2 layers, myometrium and endometrium, and below this endometrium there is a cavity which is known as the uterine cavity, where the baby develops. Okay, now we come to ovulation and menstruation. Okay, so this ovulation and menstruation is a very important process in case of the reproduction in humans. Okay, that is a female reproductive character. Okay, when the ovary is mature, the egg is mature in the ovary. Okay, when the egg matures in the ovary, it gets released from the ovary. That is known, this process of releasing the matured egg from an ovary is known as ovulation. See, here is the ovary. the two ovaries. Now the eggs get mature, this egg gets mature, and second picture you can see that the egg is released and this is taken by the fallopian tube. Now it comes, third you can see the fallopian tube, through the fallopian tube the egg moves downwards into the uterus. Okay, now normally one egg is released from ovary, from one of the ovaries every month. Alternately the ovaries release their eggs. All right. Now generally in every month one ovary releases the egg. Okay, so alternately the ovaries release their egg. Now what happens when the egg is released? Before the egg is released, the uterus makes a bed to receive the uh, egg, mature egg. It feels that as if that it will receive a fertilized egg and it will give a bed to the zygote, to the embryo, the zygote, and it will develop the zygote into a full baby. So it receives that, it prepares, the uterus prepares in such a way. Okay, but when the egg does not get fertilized, what happens? The bed disintegrates and comes out through the vagina as a cycle, as with the all the tissues and blood. This bed is of tissues and blood. Now when this is not getting fertilized, the whole bed disintegrates and come out of the body as menstrual cycle. So this menstrual cycle happens within 28th day long. After every 28 days, generally the female has this reproductive cycle. Okay. Now ovulation generally occurs on the 14th day of the cycle. Every 14th day, generally every 14th day, this cycle occurs. And before, I told you, before the release of the egg, the inner uterine wall, the endometrium, that is the endometrium, that gets thickened, that forms a bed, I told you, that gets thickened with the increased supply of blood to receive the fertilized egg. And if the egg does not get fertilized, then it is expelled from the uterus along with the uterine muscles and blood. Okay, this happens on about 28th day of this cycle, and that is on every 28th day on the lining of the uterus breaks and the blood along with the tissues, it get discharged from the vagina as menstruation. This is known as menstruation. So menstruation is a process by which the lining of the uterus breaks and blood also breaks, and blood along with the tissues get discharged along with the unfertilized egg. Okay, comes out generally, which happens about 28th day of the cycle. Okay, this is known as menstruation. So it lasts for 3 to 5 days or sometimes to 7 days in certain cases. It varies. So it marks the end of the cycle. See, it's end of the cycle, and again a cycle, new cycle begins. So if the ovum gets fertilized, it gets implanted in the uterus. That means a pregnancy starts. Okay, that time no menstruation occurs. Okay, now menstruation continues up to 50 years of age. And after this age, no egg is released from the ovaries, and menstruation period stops permanently, and that is known as menopause. Okay, so see, uterine, you can see from the picture, this uterine lining breaks down. So this is the uh, breaking down of the uterine line, that is the menstruation which is occurring. Okay, that is generally 1 to 5 days, or you can say 7 days, sometimes varies, it varies. Then new cycle starts, that is again the egg gets matured and it's released through ovulation, and then again it comes to the fallopian tube, and when it is not getting fertilized, it comes to the uterus. And when it does the already by that time the uterine wall, the endometrium, has grown, okay, to receive that egg, but it has not become fertilized, and so it will come out along with the muscles, blood vessels and everything to outside as menstruation. Okay, so this process goes on till 50 years of age, but it varies also, it varies with persons. Okay, so after this age, generally it is 50 years, and after this age there is no egg release takes place, and the menstruation stop, and that is known as menopause. Okay, so I stop here. I'll continue with the fertilization in the next video. So please go through this. If you have any doubt, please do write in the comment box. You can also give suggestions to improve my videos, and you can also if you have a new viewer to my channel or not subscribed yet, please do subscribe to get the notification of my next video. And also don't forget to press the like button if you like the video, because that will give me some inspiration, and I can produce you some more enthusiastic videos and interesting videos for you, so that it can help you much better in your studies. Thank you.